Hello and welcome to the Access Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Vinny Masana. Once again, we are filming live tonight from Showtime Athletics in Holbrook, New York. And our special guest tonight is Jake Deslauriers. Jake is a senior at Eastport South Manor High School. He is also committed to Hofstra University, recently committed. So we just have a quick message here from our sponsors, the Vitality Center. No matter the level you play at, everyone wants to be at their best. Elite level athletes have a team around them to help them excel in every facet of the game. If you've ever wondered how you can have the same level of attention that the world-class athletes do, but without breaking the bank, then the Vitality Center is your answer. Their team of specialists can get you back in the game quickly and safely and keep you at your best throughout the season. Their holistic one-stop shop approach can address the physical and mental parts of the game to help you gain the edge you need to compete with the best. Conveniently located in Comac, New York, right off the LIE in the northern state, the Vitality Center is ready for you. To learn more, go to Vitality Center LI or give them a call at 631-864-2784. All right, Jake, so first of all, thank you for your time. And just wanted to congratulate you on committing to Hofstra. I know how stressful that process is. So, tell our audience a little bit about your experience with the college recruiting process, even going back to, last year, how COVID impacted it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I started late. I mean, people always told me, like, it's never too late, but it always kind of felt like that for me, just because I just felt like I never reached out enough, or I just didn't get the communications that I wanted to with other colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And then, with COVID, it kind of just made it a little tougher because people, scouts and stuff like that, were not able to come watch everybody. And then at the same time, like, I couldn't also reach out to them because they were also working with their old team, with like the new red flags and all that stuff and the red shirting of their old players and giving them like an extra year, which increased the rosters,
had a huge
and stuff
impact.
like that. Yeah, and it was just it made a bigger difference in like what they were looking for and who they wanted. So it made it a lot tougher.
Basically, they thought that roster spots was going to clear up when in reality they never did. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And so then how did the Hofstra situation come about?
So one of my teammates, Carlos Martinez, committed earlier this year to Hofstra, maybe last year in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, Coach Sorgi's been on me about it. He's been like, "Oh, Hofstra could be a good fit. Like they like you, and I could get you in there if you need. Like, if you really want to go there, I got you." And I'm like, I just always thought about it through my mind. I just didn't quite know, like, if this was the right spot. I still wanted to check out other places, other colleges. Like, I didn't quite know what my fit was yet. And going throughout, the process, like, the Hofstra went through a whole staff change. Got Frank Calenato's there now with his own staff from NJIT, and I got to meet the staff. They got to come out and watch me, and it started feeling a lot better about it. It just started feeling like a real home there, and it's better fit for me.
It worked out for the better then.
Yeah.
You get a former major leaguer, so that's not a bad situation. I mean, I think it's kind of painting a broad brush, but last year was heck for everybody, having to go through, like you said, coaches dealing with red shirts, not being able to contact anybody. But luckily, like, you have things like social media. So how would you say that you use social media maybe to put yourself out there? Or what is the upside of having a good social media presence as a modern day athlete?
Well, I know Coach Sorgi used it a lot. We would be in the indoor facility. I'd just be throwing, and that's where I got most of my velo up. And then a couple times I was reaching around the high 80 mark, and then one time I hit the 90 mark, and then Sorgi immediately got that video. He put it on his Twitter, and then he got some college scouts, or they were already like, "Oh, who is this guy?" They're asking questions, and then that felt good for me because, like, a small app like Twitter, like, not so small compared to, like, other apps like Instagram that are used more for us, like teenagers, and Snapchat and stuff like that. But just for college scouts to just see it through Twitter is just amazing, because then, like, they just saw me through 90, and they're like, all the way maybe Florida, or like they're all the way down in like the Carolinas.
Yeah, it's got a huge reach.
Exactly, and it's amazing because like they weren't going to come all the way out to Long Island, in Yaphank to watch me throw a little bullpen when they don't have no clue what they're coming for.
Yeah, and that kind of segues me to my next point. I think ESM is a school that kind of slips through the cracks, so to speak, because you're not a powerhouse. You're not a larger enrollment school, and it's kind of in the middle. It's tucked away in the middle of nowhere. The field itself is a long walk. So, did you ever feel like it was tough to overcome that stigma of like being, Eastern Long Island small school guy? You feel like you kind of get overlooked at times, or even maybe players ahead of you. You've seen, 2018, 19, or 20 graduates, guys that were really talented, helped lead the school to its county final appearance in 2018, and still didn't get the recognition that they deserve necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I did know, like, starting in middle school, and then right before I went on the varsity team as a freshman, I didn't quite know the baseball team. I didn't know how the varsity team was looking, and then once it came around, I'm seeing the team winning games. I'm seeing the team make playoffs. I'm seeing the team make a county run. I was like, wow, I'm guessing the baseball team here is pretty darn good. Like, they're making runs. They're going towards, powerhouses like Connecticut they were coming after.
Yeah, West Islip.
Yep. Exactly. Like, and then I was like, well, if this is what ESM baseball is all about, then I'm so ready to step it up and get on the varsity team. Mm-hmm. And then, it was a rough freshman season. It was
a transitional year for you guys.
Transitional year. We lost a lot of good players, a lot of good talent, and I mean, as a freshman, I was new. I was still young. I still was learning the ropes of ESM baseball. So, just being out there, I think we got let down a little bit, and we kind of just people started to forget a little bit because we made that little run, but then it's died down a little bit. It's a transitional year, and it's all rebuilding now and trying to get back into that spot.
What was it like being a freshman on varsity? It's something that I didn't get to experience. Not a lot of people get to experience because you not only have to be talented enough, you got to be physically mature enough in order to, for them to trust you that you're going to play with the big boys. These guys are 4 years older than you, 3 or potentially 4 years older. And I remember watching you at Kings Park, and you dominated. You threw a complete game against a pretty solid team. I think they were making a postseason push, so they were no pushovers at the time. So I mean, who were some people that helped you? Mature, or also, what about the presence of Jim McGowan that helped ease your concerns as a young player?
I mean, as a freshman, I was still learning the ropes. I mean, I was always anxious, always like a little nervous going out there because you don't want to mess up for the team. You don't want to look like, oh, the freshman screwed it up for this team, But like I had the other third baseman, Matt Calabrese at the time. He was a senior. But he always took me in, like, he teach me things, and just whenever, he was just always the nice guy, always being there for me, even though I'm just a little freshman still, looking to, have an impact on the team. He was still there, he was still helpful, and he helped me out a lot. And
did it make you feel inferior?
Yeah, and it just made me feel part of the team, just having that, because with a bunch of seniors on the team, looking down at, there was only 3 freshmen on the team at the time, like, it just feels like overwhelming, and just him being there just made it feel all like more comfortable and more like home.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
And so I mean, 3 freshmen actually is a pretty good number. Most teams have 0, I would say, on average. So does that mean that you guys are going to be pretty experienced this year? You'll have 3-4 year varsity players?
Yeah, I mean, having us for 4 years of varsity, us 3 freshmen, is a great opportunity for us because we just have the experience. We know what it's like. We know what we have to do, what we have to grind at. We know what we have to work at, and just keep on pushing towards that playoff run that we're looking to do.
Who are some of the other impact guys for the upcoming season?
Definitely the freshman Rick Stanya and Derek Messino from 3 years ago. But Danny Tiedemann, he's definitely going to be an impact guy. He hasn't been seen a lot. He's been hurt. He was going to get pulled up 10th grade, but COVID hit, so he wasn't able to play then, and got hurt last year with a thumb injury. So he's going to be like our second rotation guy. He's going to be our big 4 guy in the order. He's gonna be the guy that we need to step up for the team, and he's just going to be the guy that's filling in the spots that are just going to take us to the playoffs.
Yeah, big impact guy. And last year I covered your game against Hauppauge. It was at home. It was probably one of the longest games that I remember. It was like you guys scored like 8 or 9 runs in the first inning. You had 3 different RBI doubles in the game, which is pretty incredible. And just looking at your stats from last year, 12 doubles, you hit 400 through 47 innings on the year. What do you take more pride in as a player? Hitting, driving in the runs, or preventing them?
it's
a
kind
tough
of
one, right?
Yeah, it's really tough because you always have that high moment when you're like, oh, you're down one, the game's tied, it's like a tough situation, and then you get that base hit that scores a couple, and then they come home, you have the lead, but then at the same time, being a pitcher, you're out on the mound. Your team needs you to shut down the game. You're pitching against a really good squad that's, barreling baseballs up the entire season. Like Newfield last year, they were barreling balls up the entire season, and I got to pitch against them the one time, and they were a tough team. Like I let up a home run that game, but I felt like I pitched well to the last game, the last inning. But I mean, just the feeling of just being able to shut down a good team is just like something unreal.
Oh, that was the last series of the year, I think, right?
Yeah, one of those.
And then they got you. I think Dylan Johnson pitched. Let's see. So volleyball, I wanted to talk about. So you're a volleyball player, actually missing out on practice right now. So if the volleyball coaches listen, we apologize for Jake being late. But so, how long have you been playing, and has that been a tough balance? Being a high-end baseball player, have you ever felt like people were pressuring you, to quit so that you could just be a specialized athlete? And how did you manage to stay focused?
I don't think I was ever pressured into picking one or the other because people always supported me, being like, oh, being a 2-sport athlete, 3-sport athlete, like that's something you need you need that dynamic, and you can't just like focus on one thing at a time because just having that mobility just to be able to do multiple things at once, it's great. Yeah, and just being able to play volleyball during the fall season, it gets me that work, because there are similar aspects in volleyball that you use in baseball. So just being able to constantly moving around, being athletic, and just doing all the things I need to progress towards the baseball season, it just really helps me.
Mm-hmm. And what are some things you wanted to work on this off season as it pertains to baseball?
Well, I'm definitely going to get back in the weight room, keep gaining pounds, keep trying to get that velo up as much as possible, and just keep working at mechanics, and just in the batter's box, looking at pitches, seeing pitches, just being able to drive the baseball wherever it needs to go. Mm-hmm. On the mound, just being able to locate more, being able to just get hitters out when it needs to. That time needs to happen. So.
Yeah, in the big moments.
Yeah.
Who do you work with? Do you have any private instructors?
I do not. I usually just in my backyard. I would just hit baseballs, or if I need a bullpen, I'll call on my coach. I'll be like, hey, I need to get in. I just want to throw a little bit, or I'll take my brother out to the field or something. I'll just start throwing to him. But
that's the ESM way, go in the backyard. I love it. So let's see. So we touched on your college commitment and everything. So real quick before I let you go, we're gonna go a little lightning round here. Favorite players in Major League Baseball?
Right now?
Yes.
Right now?
Or in history, whatever comes to mind.
Well, history's got to be Derek Jeter. Okay. Right now,
which I'm always amazed by that. There's gonna be a point, I guess, in the next couple of years where kids stop saying Derek Jeter. Like that was, from the time I was a kid, even through now. So you're talking about he's literally inspired a generation of baseball players, which even growing up as a Met fan, I always respected it. I mean, the guy, you literally can't say anything bad about him. He won in New York under the microscope for 20 years, and now he's been retired for 7 years. You were in 5th grade when he retired, and you're still saying that he's your favorite player. So I got to tip your cap to the captain for that. But anyway, who are your, I would say, current favorite players?
He didn't have a good season this year, but Cody Bellinger, like his rookie year was amazing, and then what he's been doing in the playoffs the past couple years, it's incredible to me because like he's so new to the league, but he just works so hard, and I just love his swing. His swing is one of my favorites.
I was shocked that he had such a bad year, like historically bad year, and that was after his rookie year was historically great.
Exactly.
So I don't know what was the issue with him, but they're going to need him to figure it out, especially with Max Muncy down. Mm-hmm. You can only lose so many impact players before it actually starts to impact their chances because, they're stocked. They're absolutely loaded. Who do you think's going to win the World Series? If I asked you yesterday, you probably would have said the Yankees, right?
Yeah, probably. That's kind of a it's an opinionated question, but I think the White Sox have a good chance. Like they have the power. They got Eloy Jimenez back. He missed half the season.
Luis Roberts back.
Yeah, Luis Robert's back, and it's just they have such a young team full of lots of talent that I just think it gets overlooked sometimes, and I feel like they have a shot, and especially I know the Rays are really good for like a rebuilding type team, but I think the White Sox just having a young talent, I think they could win it.
Yeah, and they got a veteran staff, so I think that's a pretty good combination. You know, you got Lance Lynn going game 1 and Lucas Giolito.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think the moment's going to be too big for them. Also, I wanted to just touch on quick. You said before we started filming that both of your parents played college volleyball. What impact have they had on your career, either baseball, volleyball, or just in general?
They've just always been there, honestly. It's just they've, my dad, whether it be, just when I was like little, just throwing a baseball back in the yard, playing wiffle ball with me, or just having a little fun playing volleyball in the backyard. It was just whatever it was, we would just have some fun and just get touches in, get some practice in, swings in. It didn't matter. It was just, like, as long as I was doing something, staying active, and just having fun with what I was doing, it was fun. And then my mom, she was very good as an athlete, and when she was in college and high school, and that's just something I strive to look towards, because I always strive to be the best, and I always will want to be the best. Even if I don't quite get there, it doesn't matter, because I know that was my mom's mentality when she was younger, and that's the mentality I have now.
Yep, that's the only thing you can do. Put your best foot forward. How about favorite pregame meal?
That's weird. I don't even.
So it's not like a routine, just whatever you're in the mood for.
Yeah, I think it's just like whatever I have, I just eat it. I don't even know. Maybe a Pop-Tart or something. I don't know.
I like it. Well, a couple weeks ago we had Brady on from Bayport Boot Point. He said water and a Cliff Bar, which is probably the most bland pregame meal. At least Pop-Tart is a little bit unique. How about this? What's your favorite type of food? It doesn't have to be pregame or postgame.
It's got to be lasagna.
Awesome,
yeah,
I like that.
Just a good lasagna.
Reminds me of me when I was in college. They asked on the roster sheet favorite food. I put manicotti. I think I was probably the only person that put that.
Wow.
Favorite type of music?
Well, there's some type of rap, but then when you get that good, like, there's a good like pop song that gets you upbeat and up and going, and just you get a feeling inside of you, and it just feels good.
So anything that right now that you've been listening to a lot, who's your favorite artist?
Favorite artist, I would say Jack Harlow is really good. I like him. Like his stuff just flows, and it feels a lot more than just some of the other artists that just kind of just feel like they spitball things and it doesn't quite like vibe to a certain like
overall hip hop is your favorite genre though.
Yeah,
I hear you. Nice. How about favorite Netflix show?
Actually, there's a new show that just came out called Squid Game.
Oh, that's all people are talking about right now.
It's actually really good. I'm almost done with it, but.
How many seasons is it?
It's just the first one so far. I hope they make a second one because that'd be pretty cool. Cause
it's like the most watched season I've heard of any Netflix show, which is crazy because every year there's some other show that has to overcome. I mean, had to overcome Tiger King. That was the most watched show last year. How about this? What was the best baseball trip you've ever been on?
Either when I was younger, I went to Florida for Power Showcase.
What year was that?
That was when I was about 12. I went down there.
Probably with CJ, right?
yeah, I did go down with him.
Yeah. He
was in the older group. I was in the younger group. But honestly, the one I won't forget is probably Alabama this year. Just because I've just never been anywhere near there. Never been to something like that. It was just a cool experience. We're playing top level teams. The whole time we played top level teams. It was, a grit and grind. It was hot. It was a new setting, and it was just great to play and just
highly competitive. That's the best type of trips. How about any superstitions before a game? You don't strike me as that type, but I wanted to ask because baseball is a very superstitious sport by nature.
I mean, I have to stretch the same way every time. That has to happen. If I don't do that,
then you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, and then the same one, can't touch the line. You can never touch the line.
All right, so you are superstitious.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that is like definitely those are two of the most common ones. Using the same bat, not washing the sliding shorts after the game or something like that. How about this dream car?
Oh, definitely Audi R8.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And what's been your most thrilling moment on the field? So it could have happened here, Alabama, Cooperstown, doesn't matter.
I would say probably in the Smithtown West playoff game, because when we played them a couple games before in the regular season, I was pitching. I didn't have a great game. They put some balls in play. Eventually they beat us, but then it came to playoffs and it was a different game. It wasn't the same game as the last time, and I showed that. I let one hit, I think, and I went out there knowing that if this game is going to be lost, it's because I'm going to give it to them. They're not going to beat me.
Mm-hmm.
That was my mentality.
And any goals this year on an individual standpoint? I know everybody wants to win a county and a state championship. That's the cliche answer.
Yeah.
But anything that Jake has in mind?
I just go out there, pitch well, just pitch better than I did last year and the year before that, and go out there.
Paul Gibson Award.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's the headline. Jake wants to win the Paul Gibson Award. And
Why
that's
not?
how we're going to end it tonight. Thank you to our audience for tuning in to the latest episode of the Access Baseball Podcast. Thank you to Showtime Athletics for hosting us. And thank you to the Vitality Center for sponsoring us. Thank you, guys.